Eunice is battering parts of the UK, felling trees and scattering roof tiles as forecasters warn of a significant threat to life. But is it caused by climate breakdown? And can we expect an increase in such disruptive storms? Where has the storm come from? Eunice brewed in the central Atlantic and was spun up from the Azores towards Europe by the jet stream. Is it a particularly bad storm? Yes. Gusts of up to 110 miles per hour have been recorded at the Needles Lighthouse on the Isle of Wight. This has exceeded the prediction of 90 miles per hour winds, and is just under the record 120 miles per hour winds that hit during the devastating storm of 1987, during which 18 people died in one day. The Met Office says Eunice has the potential to be the worst storm since then. A rare red alert has been issued by the Met Office, with people asked to stay at home if they can. The government has convened COBRA to discuss response to the likely devastation ahead. Prof. Hannah Cloak, a professor of hydrology at the University of Reading, said, "The Met Office red and amber warnings for high winds should not be taken lightly. Red means you need to act now because there is an imminent danger to life. Everyone who lives or works in those areas should be battening down the hatches, literally in some cases, to prevent people from being killed and injured and to protect your homes and businesses." Let us be clear what this means. Winds of 70 miles per hour will uproot trees, which can block roads and crush cars or buildings. They can pick up roof tiles and hurl them around. If you are hit by one of those, you will be seriously hurt or killed. Wind that strong will sweep people and vehicles off streets, and topple electricity lines. Do not take any chances. Stay inside. What is a sting jet? A sting jet is a small area of extremely intense wind that can form inside storms passing over the UK, Ireland and parts of North and Central Europe. Relative to the size of the storm, they are very narrow, usually only around 30 miles across, and tend to last just 3 or 4 hours. But creating winds of at least 100 miles per hour. They are extremely dangerous and create significant damage and risk to life. They are rare and were only formally recognized when one occurred during the Great Storm of October 1987, when wind speeds reached 115 miles per hour and millions of trees were brought down. How do they form? Areas of low pressure that we see across the UK have weather fronts. These fronts mark the boundary between areas of cold and warm air, and they bring bad weather. Close to the two fronts we see focused streams of air called conveyor belts, which run up into the atmosphere. The cold conveyor belt, a strong stream of cold air, pulls down into the storm ahead of the warm conveyor belt, also known as a dry intrusion. Cold conveyors bring snow and rain, which evaporate and speed up the stream of cold air falling into the storm even more. This is known as a sting jet, the sting in the tail of the storm. How rare are they? Sting jets are difficult to forecast because of their small size relative to the overall storm. They were only formally discovered following the Great Storm of 1987 and have only happened a handful of times since. But the biggest sign of a sting jet is violent winds seen at the surface. After the storm starts to develop, they can also be spotted on satellite images as the end of the cold conveyor belt forms a hook-shaped cloud that looks like the sting of a scorpion's tail. How likely is a sting jet with Storm Eunice? Computer models have hinted at the chance of a sting jet as Storm Eunice crosses the UK, but even if the rare weather event doesn't happen, the winds from Eunice are said to be extremely dangerous and damaging. Britons have been urged to stay home today, with forecasters warning wind speeds could break records. The Met Office has warned of prolonged power cuts, uprooted trees, damage to buildings and homes, and significant travel disruption. An amber warning covers England and Wales until 9 p.m. today. While northern parts of England, southwest Scotland and Northern Ireland have a slightly less severe, yellow warning lasting from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. The most severe red level warning is in place for part of the southwest of England and South Wales until midday today. A separate, second, red warning is in place for London, southeast England, east of England and the southwest until 3 p.m. this afternoon. Is Eunice linked to climate breakdown? Michael Dukes, a forecaster at MetDesk, said it could be. He explained, although it is hard to pinpoint climate change as a reason for individual severe weather events, climate models do indicate an increase in these type of storms as the Earth continues to slowly warm. So this is very much in line with what climate scientists have been warning us about for a number of years now.